You're 21 years old. You just stepped off a train in the middle of the New Mexico desert. You're wearing a crisp white uniform. You'll serve 3 meals a day to railroad passengers. You can't date for 6 months. You have a 10 p.m. curfew. This is your new life as a Harvey girl, 1888. And for the first time in your life, you chose it. Your name is Margaret. Everyone calls you Maggie. 3 weeks ago, you were living in a small town in Ohio, working in your father's dry goods store, expected to marry the banker's son, expected to live the rest of your life within 5 miles of where you were born. Then you saw the advertisement in the newspaper. Wanted young women, 18 to 30 years of age, of good character, attractive and intelligent, to work as waitresses in Harvey Houses, along the Santa Fe Railroad. Good wages, room and board provided. See the West. See the West. You'd never been more than 20 miles from home. You applied without telling your parents. When the letter came accepting you, you told them you were going. Your mother cried. Your father was furious, but you went anyway. The train ride took 3 days. You crossed prairies you'd only read about, saw mountains for the first time, watched the landscape turn from green to brown to vast, empty desert. Now you're standing on a platform in Lamy, New Mexico territory, a small building next to the tracks. Behind it, nothing, just desert stretching to the horizon. A woman walks toward you, middle-aged, stern-looking, impeccably dressed. Miss Thompson. Yes, ma'am. I'm Mrs. Adelaide Crawford. Head waitress. You'll be working under me. She looks you up and down, assessing. Did you bring the uniform specifications I sent? You nod. Good. Come with me. You have 2 hours before the afternoon train arrives. That's when you start. 2 hours to change your life. Mrs. Crawford leads you into the Harvey house. It's beautiful, spotlessly clean. White tablecloths, polished silverware, fresh flowers on every table. In the middle of the desert, in a territory barely connected to civilization, this place looks like a fine restaurant in Boston or Philadelphia. That's Fred Harvey's vision. He built restaurants along the Santa Fe Railroad oases of quality and service in the rough frontier, and he staffed them with young women from back east. Harvey girls, people call you. Mrs. Crawford hands you your uniform. A crisp white blouse, long black skirt, white apron, black bow tie, black stockings, sensible shoes. You will keep this spotless at all times, she says. Hair up. No jewelry except a watch. Nails trimmed. Posture perfect. You represent Mr. Harvey and the Santa Fe Railroad. Is that clear? Yes, ma'am. The rules are strict, she continues. No drinking, no smoking, no profanity, no dating for the first 6 months of employment. Curfew at 10 p.m. You will share a room with 3 other girls in the dormitory upstairs. Meals are provided. You will be paid $17.50 per month, more than you made in 3 months working for your father. Any violations of these rules, and you will be dismissed immediately and sent home. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. Good. She almost smiles. Now get changed. The train arrives at 3 o'clock. Your first meal service is chaos. The train pulls in, 100 passengers flood into the dining room. They have 30 minutes to eat before the train leaves again. You're terrified, overwhelmed, but the other Harvey girls move with perfect precision. The king orders, delivering food, clearing plates, all with grace and speed. You try to follow their lead. You spill water. You forget an order. You deliver the wrong plate to the wrong table. Mrs. Crawford watches everything. Says nothing. By the time the train pulls away, you're sweating, exhausted, humiliated. One of the other girls, Ruth, maybe 19, touches your arm. Don't worry, she says. Everyone's terrible their first day. You'll get better. I don't think I will. You will. Because if you don't, Mrs. Crawford will make sure you do. She grins. Come on. We have an hour before the next train. The first week is brutal. 3 meal services a day. Breakfast at 7 a.m., Lunch at 3 p.m., dinner at 7 p.m. Trains arrive. You serve. Trains leave. You clean. Then you wait for the next one. Every detail matters. The way you fold napkins. The angle of the silverware. The speed of service. The tone of your voice. Fred Harvey's standards are legendary. And Mrs. Crawford enforces them ruthlessly, but slowly you improve. Your hands learn the rhythm. Your feet learn the path between kitchen and dining room. Your smile becomes automatic. And something else happens. You start to love it. Not the work is exhausting. But the freedom. You're 1,000 miles from home. You're earning your own money. You're seeing the West. You're meeting people from everywhere. Ranchers, travelers, heading to California. And for the first time in your life, no one is telling you who to marry or how to live. By the end of the first month, you've found your rhythm. You share a room with 3 other girls. Ruth from Illinois, Alice from Missouri, and Beatrice from Pennsylvania. Every night, after curfew, you talk in the dark. About home. About the passengers. About the future. Ruth wants to marry a rancher and stay in the West. Alice is saving money to open her own boarding house someday. Beatrice is just here for adventure. She plans to go to California when her contract ends. What about you, Maggie? Ruth asks. What do you want? You think about it. I don't know yet, you finally say, but I'm glad I'm here to figure it out. 3 months in, a railroad engineer starts coming to the restaurant on his days off. His name is James. He's maybe always asks to sit at one of your tables. Mrs. Crawford notices? Of course she does. Miss Thompson, she says one afternoon, you're aware of the 6-month rule? Yes, ma'am. Good. Because Mr. Sullivan seems quite interested in you, and you seem not discouraging. You feel your face flush. I haven't broken any rules, ma'am. Not yet, she says. But be careful. Many girls come here looking for husbands. That's fine after 6 months, but if you leave before your contract is up, you go home with nothing. You nod. But that night, you think about it, James is a good man. You can tell, and life as a railroad engineer's wife wouldn't be terrible, but you also like this life, the work, the independence, the feeling of being exactly where you chose to be. You don't have to decide yet. You have 3 more months. Your 6-month contract ends in December. James has been patient. He's asked, carefully, if you might consider staying after your contract ends, maybe as more than a Harvey girl. Ruth is leaving next week to marry a rancher she met 2 months ago. She's glowing. Happy! Alice just signed on for another 6 months. She's almost saved enough for her boarding house. Beatrice left last month for California. She sent a postcard. San Francisco is beautiful. Come visit someday. Mrs. Crawford calls you into her office. Your 6 months are up. Miss Thompson, have you decided if you'll renew your contract? Yes, ma'am, you say. I'd like to stay another year, if that's acceptable. She nods, almost smiling. You've become one of my best girls. I'm glad. And you hesitate. James Mr. Sullivan has asked if he could call on me now. And what did you tell him? I said I'd think about it. Mrs. Crawford actually smiles now. That's a good answer. Take your time. The right choice will make itself clear. This was life as a Harvey girl in the 1880s. Hard work, long hours, strict rules, but also good pay, room and board, protection, respect, and a chance to see the West and make your own choices. Between 1883 and 1950, over 100,000 women worked as Harvey girls. They brought civilization to the frontier, not just good food and clean tables, but the presence of respectable young women in rough railroad towns. Many married railroad workers or ranchers. Some stayed single and made careers. Some moved on to other adventures. You, Maggie, stayed for 3 years. You saved money. You learned the business. In 1891, you married James. Not because you had to, because you wanted to. You lived in Albuquerque, raised 2 daughters, and for the rest of your life, when people asked about your past, you'd smile and say, "I was a Harvey girl," and they'd understand. Because being a Harvey girl meant something. It meant you were brave enough to leave home, strong enough to work hard, independent enough to make your own choices. In 1888, that was revolutionary. Old America Diaries, real life, real history, one state at a time.